Well, Broncos country, what is going on, man? It's your boy Mark here with Marky Sports. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday, man. It's been an awesome week. Broncos are 2-2, coming off of a huge two-game win streak, and they are getting ready to go against the franchise that I hate the most, by far and away, the Las Vegas Raiders. Bunch of sellouts. They could even stay in California. Bunch of sellouts. But anyways, so we'll get into that later in the week. But today we're going to talk about the Broncos if they should look into the future and make a move. Earlier in the offseason, they signed Pat Surtain, they signed Quinn Miners. And should they look at re-signing left tackle Garrett Bowles to an extension now rather than waiting? Let's get into it. Before we do, guys, if it's your first time on the channel, welcome. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And I hope that you guys not only enjoy my videos, but check them out if you haven't. If you love Denver sports, if you love fantasy football, check them out, man. You might make a new friend. I want to build out this community, so I appreciate it in advance. All right, guys. So let's take a look at this. Right, the Broncos have a very big impending issue going into next season. That's the only thing that I think has been glaring after we signed PS2 and Quinn Miners early, which I love. And it's important to notate that George Payton has a history of trying to get deals done early. I think for the most part, it's always paid off, right? Even though you could make the argument that like Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton at times didn't really maximize the contracts that we gave them. Overall, they were still at a really good market rate, and it would have been a lot more expensive had they waited. So I love the PS2 deal and I love the Quinn Miners deal. Now Garrett Bowles is kind of a polarizing figure here in Denver, right? I kind of look at it like he's got two careers. He's got a career where he was awful and everybody hated him, thought he was terrible, and then the second half of his career has been, man, he's been really solid, really likable dude, likable in the locker room, and he's been a above average starting left tackle in the NFL. And I still truly believe that. Now, the one thing that we haven't addressed in a long time in the off seasons, and we definitely didn't address this year, is a plan for the future left tackle, right? We've got a lot of pieces that I really like, that I'm really intrigued by, right? Alex Polcheski, who now has an opportunity I've started the last couple games at right tackle. He's looked fantastic, but by all means, he seems like somebody that is strictly a right tackle, not a swing guy, not somebody that has a lot of experience playing on the left side, and so just throwing him there wouldn't make a lot of sense. And Frank Crum, who throughout his career at Wyoming has also been a right tackle. Ton of upside though, ton of potential there, but not really anything promising. Saying this is the guy that we're going to develop to ultimately be the starting left tackle. So that leaves us with a couple of options. It leaves us with moving Mike McGlinchey over to the left side. Not something that I would even be remotely close to a proponent of, and I definitely don't think it's going to happen. Drafting a left tackle early in next year's draft, which is the most likely outcome. And the second one is obviously signing Garrett Bowles. Now, Garrett Bowles is about 32 years old, roughly, I think, or 30, 31. I don't know how old he is, but he's been pretty solid. He hasn't really shown much regression. Yeah, he's 32. He hasn't really shown a lot of regression. He's just been solid. He's been good, um, really, really good in the run game, especially this year. He seems like he's kind of taking a step forward there. And he's certainly, like I said, I always list him as like he's an above average starting left tackle. It's extremely important for the Broncos to have a very good offensive line overall around Bo Nix. And I think it's fair to say that for the first four games, they absolutely have. And so continuing that moving forward is going to be big. Now we understand, listen, if Garrett Bowles got hurt or we needed to replace him this year, we have a guy, a veteran guy in Matt Pert. But he's not really all that good, and he's definitely not the future. So if you're asking me, if you're looking towards what I would do, I would address this in the draft because you have an offensive line right now where four of the five starters are getting paid a lot of money. Garrett Bowles on the final year of his deal, but he's making upper echelon um, type of money. Ben Powers is a high paid left guard. The center, Wattenberg, really cheap, so he's not a problem there. Right guard, you got Quinn Miners, just signed a massive contract, and then Mike McGlinchey on the right side is his contract's very big as well. Probably the worst value on the team, but that's besides the point. So yeah, Garrett Bowles this year is making $20 million, fully against the cap, and only 16 of it was guaranteed. So obviously the Broncos felt good enough at that particular cap hit and at that rate to be able to continue moving on with them. Now, for me, I look at it like, is it worth it to extend him now rather than get into a bidding war or maybe having to put a franchise tag on him or something like that in the offseason? Should this be something that we do now? I would say the only time that I would be a proponent of that is if we looked into signing him to like a 2 or a 3 year deal. Nothing crazy, but just be able to, give him, make sure that he's here, solidify the offensive line for the next couple seasons as we kind of work to find and develop a replacement in the future. Otherwise, it'll be something that we have to take care of in the draft. But regardless, it's extremely important. I love the direction this team is going in, as my dog barks, and I'm curious as to what you guys think, Broncos country. What do you guys think about this move? I know that we're in the middle of the season, but I'm always kind of looking ahead, especially we talked about it a million times. Development, wanting to see this team and this roster get better and better. I personally think we should look for a replacement left tackle in the draft next year. Start young, develop him into your system. I think we could have arguably made that draft choice this year, but we'll see how it goes. But let me know what you guys think. Put it down in the comments. And guys, don't forget to spend time with those people that you love. Go Broncos as always. And until next time, peace out.